How are you, sir?
What's going on? What's up? What's up?
Trying to get my lighting right.
Yeah, with your Elgato camera. That's what we're talking about. Drop in the comments below whose camera looks better. We're using the same one.
Yeah, that's the funny part is that we are using the exact same camera, and Zach's looks better than mine. And this is my new office. I'm still getting everything figured out, and I look like I've got this magenta tint to me.
Your office looks better than mine, though. So
Yes,
I win the face cam award. You win the office award because your.
So who thinks I look better? Or who thinks I look better? Let's see. Who thinks I look better? 80 plus people here combined.
I don't see anybody. I don't see anybody saying
Kevin Riley thinks Zach's looks better. Let's see. It's the lighting. Whose looks better? Mine.
The lighting.
Let's see. This is really important crypto stuff here we're getting into, so
for sure.
Yeah. Both need more. Both need more lighting. Oh man.
Right, well, luckily I've got another one of these guys I got to put up today at some point.
We got two for you. It's the grays shining. Oh, AB's already giving me shit. Look at that. It's the grays shining. Well, the light's bouncing off Zach's head. That's it. The light is bouncing off of his head, and it's creating this perfect little aura and all that, so.
It's the darker complexion.
Mike, I agree. I look comatose. I look like I need to be in a morgue,
They're saying your logo looks great and the office looks great. It really does, man. It came out sweet.
Yeah, it's getting there, man. It's getting there. Okay, so there we go. All right. Let's talk about what is going on in crypto. Let's talk about SHIB. We're just gonna hang out here with a little bit. We've got Chad from Devour, one of the co-founders of Devour, joining us here in about, 15, 20 minutes, give or take. And we're just going to hang out. Okay. So that's what we're going to do. So ask your questions and we'll get into the
What's the news today? Timsky wants to know. I've got something kind of more macro,
yeah.
and we'll
there you go, Zach. You're up. You're up.
Yeah. We'll take it into SHIB and all that kind of stuff. I know people want to hear about XRP, but yeah. So this is just breaking news, guys. Pretty big stuff. Now, listen, the market's not really moving off of this. It's tough right now to move the needle, right? It's just there's just not a lot of volume, not a lot of volatility. But anyways, this is a great macro news piece that is really, really big and kind of going under the radar right now. And the Wolf of Wall Street's Scott Melker over there, they're talking about it over there on the Twitter space a little bit. They were earlier. So basically, MicroStrategy has won their fair value accounting case. And this accounting change is massive because it changes what businesses can do, what they're allowed to do legally with their balance sheet. So MicroStrategy's always bought Bitcoin, held it on their balance sheet, but they were in this tussle and they were in this lawsuit basically to see if they were still allowed to do that. So you had big companies not doing that, right? I mean, the Apples of the world, the Microsofts of the world, they don't want to take that risk. Well, now, given this new change, this opens the door for really big companies like the Apple, like the Microsoft, like the Amazons, and few and far between companies as well, to actually legally be able to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. That's a big, big deal. And again, it's not something that's going to pump the market today to the moon, but it is something that is a really big win for crypto and for Bitcoin in general moving forward, especially as we enter into the next, bull market and all of that. As we get closer to regulatory clarity, this is big.
Well, I think you nailed it. As far as I think that the key word here is it's clarity, right? It's when in doubt, they're not going to do anything. So the fact of the matter is the fact that this is a big deal for, I think, opening businesses to your, I think that was a great illustration to hold assets like Bitcoin and you've had MicroStrategy leading the way, Apple, Tesla to, SpaceX, obviously all those are the kind of the more high profile. And I think that you've had companies that have shied away from it because how do we treat it from an accounting perspective? Bottom line. I mean, so is this going to change the market overnight? No, it's just one of those kind of, we're laying the groundwork, right? So, Zach, I was having a conversation earlier this morning, and I want to kind of throw you a curveball and I want your opinion. So what's your stance? BlackRock, the number moves, but we hear north of 300 to $400 million worth of Bitcoin bought through third-party intermediaries,
Right.
right? They don't really want people to know they're buying it per se. Not that they
Right.
were caught with their hand in the cookie jar, but they've been buying, right? And so you kind of take that, and then that the JP Morgans, the Fidelities, and whomever else, I mean, they're all in one instance or another, they've been buying. So what's your stance on that? Do you think that where we're at right now, we've got the SEC and all that's going on there. Do you think that one day we're just kind of wake up and crypto is going to be cool and it's just going to be off and running because the big guys in the proverbial room, some of the ones I just mentioned, have locked in their cost and locked in their acquisitions and they're ready to go? What's your 2 cents on that?
Well, I think the biggest news of this year is probably Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, switching his tune to being bullish on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I mean, because like just recently, within the last couple of years, Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, basically said that it's a waste of time. It's not worth it, right? There's no intrinsic value, and that hurt because BlackRock literally owns everything. When you start like connecting all the dots, so the fact that he kind of switched his tune to that tells me a couple of different things. I mean, number one, BlackRock's not getting into Bitcoin to be a player. They're getting into Bitcoin to be the player. And that's what
Yeah.
they do. Like they dominate things that they get into. So it's bullish for the industry. And I think it's interesting the way you put it there earlier in explaining how they're acquiring their Bitcoin. It's not on the open market. So that's
Right.
why you're not seeing the price, blast off or anything because BlackRock's buying Bitcoin. They're doing it kind of through the back doors. They're also, I think, very, very happy to create market manipulation, to create fear, to create uncertainty, to create doubt, to dampen the price of Bitcoin now in order to line their pockets. And it's just how it works. I mean, we see that with even the altcoins out there. I mean, we've seen it with SHIB, right? We cover SHIB every single day. While all the retail demand is going away and people are selling and they're buying into the FUD and the narratives, we'll create a video the same day that, look at this, the whales, I think you just made that video this morning. Look at this, the whales have added 100 million to their bags.
Yeah.
Why hasn't the price increased? Well, it's because they're buying up the dip. So they're leveling things off. And I think similar things are happening with Bitcoin from an institutional standpoint, right? It's not just BlackRock, it's Grayscale, it's MicroStrategy. They have their entry points and they'll happily, come in there and buy when things are at value prices. Like these big organizations and institutions, they're value investors, right? I heard somebody say that the other day and I really and they kind of broke that down and what that really means. They go and buy something whenever it's on sale. They don't buy it unless it's on sale. That's it, point blank, and that's what Grayscale, that's what BlackRock's doing right now. I think that kind of answered your question. I kind of took it off.
No, you've hit the net. You've hit the nail on the proverbial head. I think it's coming. I think it's really that. And I think the reason I wanted to bring it up as a topic of conversation is that I think yours and mine audience, I think you and I do a lot of education, right? I think we have a lot of new investors coming into crypto, which is awesome, coming in via SHIB and a lot of these altcoins. And I think we need to continue to have that dialogue so that people, not that we're not trying to basically be like whistleblowers, like, oh my God, BlackRock's, doing something bad here, guys. And listen to what Zach just said. This is not a bad thing, right? Here's what it comes down to. Crypto's let me show this. Crypto's market share is 1.08 trillion. That's the entire crypto market capitalization, the entire crypto, which there's, 20,000 plus cryptos out there. And we know that Bitcoin and Ethereum make up over 60% of that number right there is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. So why am I bringing this up? Because if you look at the context of the entire crypto market, it's $1 trillion. That's tiny. It's a little bitty. Okay. Yeah. And compared to like Apple's entire market capitalization is 2.8 trillion and change. I haven't looked at them recently, but that's what it was last week when I looked at it. Just Crazy. Apple is 2 trillion. Okay, almost 3 trillion. Just Apple.
I think Nvidia recently crossed over 1 trillion too. So there's another company for another, parallel there. It's like one company.
Two companies two companies, Nvidia and Apple, are basically almost $6 trillion.
Yeah.
Why are we saying that? Because it comes down to the fact that yes, crypto can be manipulated if you want to use, and I think that word, right or wrong, is the word that everybody banters about. But yes, I think that the big guys out there are buying quietly so that they can line their proverbial pockets. I think I love what you said about that they are value investors. And people will, there's some people will take what we're saying and like, oh my God, they're going to buy and they're going to dump on us. No, they're going to buy and they're going to strategically sell and make profits along the way based off of a cost basis that is low. And as the value goes up, they will pull and reap profits out of it. And oh, by the way, they are still going to be in it long term.
Yes. Yes.
Period. Because they are going to be invested dramatically into crypto. Crypto is the next biggest thing. Period.
100%. Yeah. And I think going back to that manipulation word too, I mean, it's not a new thing, right? Like the stock market's manipulated too.
Oh,
like
all the time.
Apple stock is, Amazon stock is. I mean, you've lived it a lot longer than I have. I'm sure you've seen times in the market where there's no doubt that there's manipulation happening, and it is what it is, right? But if you're little people like us, right, like the people who can't really move the market, we're just retail investors, we just have to play the long game. And I think we have to remember that, right? Especially on these dog days of crypto winters, these days that just suck in the markets. And we've had a lot of them in the last year and a half. I mean,
yeah, and I've been showing this a lot, right? And so I want to, I mean, I know you've seen this too. My color thing went away. Let me pull that back up. Like, it's not, anyway, let me reload this. Maybe it'll pull it back up. But basically, September, my highlighter is not working. September has been the worst month for crypto assets since 2013. Out of the last 10 years,
interesting,
8 out of those 10 years it's closed in the red. Now, this is specifically talking about Bitcoin, but you can apply this to all major altcoins as well. Right. Look at this. So 8 years in bloody red, September. And then, oh, by the way, the other 2 years where it was positive, it was only up 2% and 6% respectively. Right. What does that mean? That means that, oh, let me just say it, September sucks.
Yeah. And guys, definitely smash the like button. Crypto Foxy's in the house. Whether you're watching on Austin's channel or mine, smash that like button for us. Let's run that thing up. But you said all that, Austin. So September's terrible. And I love that. But here's the thing that you have to remember. There's no better performing asset that even comes close to Bitcoin since 2010.
Absolutely.
It's 2023. So, I mean, yes, Bitcoin's still new relatively, right? But 13 years is a pretty good sample size. And nothing has come even remotely close. Nothing.
I just think, Zach, people get lost in only looking at what is happening an hour in front of them. And I think you and I spend a lot of time, and I know you do as well, banging that drum.
It happens to us too. It happens. There are days where I got to walk you off the ledge, or you got to walk me off the ledge and say, hey, it's okay. I mean, listen, we're good. It happens to everybody. Sorry.
Sure it does. Sure it does. But I think that's almost like part of our job, right? Is that look, fortunes are made now. Fortunes are made buying in the crap times, buying in the down times. Again, BlackRock, JP Morgan, Fidelity, we all went through this. We talked about this, right? That's when fortunes are made. It's when you buy low and you sell high. Yeah, I know. Do you really know? Listen.
But there's a reason why those investors who do that get rewarded, because it's hard. It's hard to freaking buy right now. It's hard to see the bigger picture when you've just had 15 months of just pain and misery in the markets.
Yeah, I mean, let's downshift to Shiba Inu, right? And let's take a look right where, let me find my chart. Where is it? There it is. Okay, so right here, like let's look at SHIB. Like this is since, what is that? Roughly the 18th of August. Where this yellow lines begin. What are we at? We're in consolidation, right? And consolidation, people hate it. They're like, why isn't SHIB going up 40% in the next 3 minutes and all that kind of stuff, and all that. But this is where we're at, guys. And I think we're going to continue to see this through the rest of September. I mean, what's your 2 cents on that, Mr. Humphreys?
Yeah, I mean, SHIB is obviously kind of following the overall market. Pretty much every crypto chart looks just like that. we've been boring there for, what is that, like about a 2-week span, Austin? I don't know
Yeah, it started around the 18th of August. Yes, so yeah.
2-3 week span. I mean, since we had that big drop, every crypto chart looks like this. I mean, when we look at Bitcoin, we need to hold this line right now. I mean, it is crucial. I mean, if we go ahead and dip underneath 25,700 and start closing below that,
I mean, yeah, like here's Bitcoin, right? So
it's getting a little testy right now, because if we dip down below here, we could free fall a little bit. So again, you can look at that one of two ways. You can run for the hills and freak out and say, I'm never getting in crypto again, or you can say, okay, if that happens, what opportunities are going to be out there? What do I want to take advantage of? Because if Bitcoin starts to tumble, back down toward 23,000 and maybe even test 20,000, you better believe that altcoins are going to tumble too. And maybe that's the final drop before we get back to where we want to go and get ready for the Bitcoin halving and all of the fun stuff that I think is ahead.
It's coming. But I mean, to your point, right? Look, look right there, 18th of August. That's where it started.
Yep.
Now Bitcoin's had some other spikes. Obviously, you can see on the chart. Bitcoin,
and that was market manipulation. That was manipulation. Remember what happened? It was that Grayscale's trust was going to be turned into a Bitcoin ETF, and then the next day we got, or literally not the next day, but however long that was. Is that hourly or is that daily?
It's 4-hour chart.
4 hour. Okay. So it was a couple days there. I don't know if it was the next day after. It might have been the next day after. Then we got news that the SEC was delaying BlackRock's ETF bid and kicking the can down for 45 days longer. Market manipulation. Perfect. It was just good news, bad news, and then back to boring.
Yeah. All right. Well, here's the little ad, right? Here's the ad. So if you're watching on Zach's channel, my channel, by the way, I'm gonna talk about this, the elephant in the room. Zach and I partnered and had an indicator built together. Mine's better. Mine's better. X1 is better than XT. Okay.
My logo is way cooler. XT algo.
Mine looks better. Mine has a better name.
Drop your guys' thoughts. X1 or XT algo. Which one sounds better, looks better? They're both in the links to our description, by the way. But
so that's what's throwing the momentum down and momentum up indicators here. So if you want an indicator, go pick it up. There's discount codes below. Go pick it up. 30-day discount. 30-day refund policy. Discount code. Blah blah blah. All right. Yeah. Which one's better? There we go. So. All right. But to your point, you know what, Zach, that's funny. You brought that up. I mean, market manipulation, right? Oh, is something going to happen? Oh, no. SECs. No, not going to happen.
They were like, wait, we had good news yesterday. We can't have that. We got to throw another wrench into this thing. And
somebody called up Gary and go, kick the can on the ETFs, right? Nope.
Exactly, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's frustrating, obviously. Right. But it's interesting though, because I think the more we go through this, the more we kind of get kicked down and pushed down a little bit, the stronger we become. I know that's just like okay, that's a cute analogy or whatever, but it's true. I mean, you kind of become numb now to negative news a little bit, right? You're like, okay, well, we went through FTX, we went through the Terra Luna collapse, we went through this, we went through that. We're still here, right? So you can't break us. We're hanging here.
It's just, and you and I covering it every day. We're on the front lines living it every day. And I'm messing with my lighting and I just can't get it right, man. This is bugging me, dude. I am trying. I'm messing with it over here. I got my little Elgato control center messing with my light. So if you're like, look, you're like, woohoo!
It definitely looks better.
That's like 100% across the board right there. That's like, okay. And it's not even really much difference. All right. Yeah. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm dragging the professionalism down here. All right. So I'll tell you what, Tony, bye-bye. Why are you?
Tony says we're talking useless information. Well, hey, Tony, thanks for chiming in. Thanks for bringing a little ounce of positivity today. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your day, sir.
Bye-bye. You're out. I'm old enough. I don't need to deal with that, right? I'm good to go. So,
yes.
Let me see. Do we need TradingView Pro to use X1? No, you can use the free views in the free version. So you know what? Oh, I did let's talk about XRP. I did a video yesterday or the day before. I've forgotten when I did the video. But so you remember when XRP, well, let's pull up a chart here. Hold on. Let's do this. Let me do this. Go here. XRP, where I have it right there. Okay. Whoa, that's interesting. All right, come on. well, it's trading view is acting weird for me. Tell you what, you pull up the trading view chart. See how it's doing this? Trading view has been acting weird for me. You pull up a trading view chart and I'll let you, and then pull up XRP. Here's what I want to talk about. So I did a video, and I don't know if you saw this, Zach. Did you see the fact that, remember when XRP jumped off of the SEC regulation, right? 80+% up, move up, and then we started coming back down. Did you see that article that talked about the majority of the reason that XRP moved down was that it was offshore exchanges? Specifically South Korea, very, very strong Asian, not dumping, but the vast majority of that sell-off,
profit taking, and
and it was all these offshore exchanges, and I'm saying offshore relative to the United States. Did you see that? Did you see that article?
I did not. No. I have seen some articles talking about just the interest in Asia and things like that, which I've got another news story we can get to after this, but no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it specifically, somebody had done the research and had gone and looked, and there was specifically two exchanges. There, I think one of them was OKX, and the other one's escaping me. But like it was, and I mean, like massive sell-offs came through, which basically moved the price down, and have since in some capacity kept it down. We all know that XRP is down now because the overall crypto's down, but yeah. So,
yeah, and I mean, I never really thought this was going to be a sustained pump. You know, when we had it, I mean, I did feel like we would, come down a little bit. I didn't think we'd come down all the way, but I think as we started to slide, we had some negative news in the market, and then this was kind of in conjunction with everything coming down pretty hard. This last little big dip from the 63 to 65 cent range there. I'd like to see us consolidate there. I think if the market would have held on or just started to trade sideways there, we could have, but that was kind of the last ditch effort. And then, we're kind of back down here where we were. I mean, but again, opportunity, I mean, from our indicator perspective, I've been saying this a lot in videos, I'm waiting for that next momentum up indicator to flash on the daily time frame. And then I get really interested again, and I'm looking to make a short-term trade because I've got my XRP long-term bag secured. I probably wish I would have bought more, but it is what it is. I'm there. And in this type of market, I'm looking to make trades. And I mean, this, our momentum up indicator has been phenomenal at it, whether you're looking at XRP, whether you're looking at Cardano, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin chart on the daily time frame has flashed momentum up 3 times this year. You're looking at 235% gains and about a 10% gain each and every time that's happened. I know you've been looking at the Apple chart. Our indicator has really flashed some nice signals there on Apple. If you'd have bought Apple way back in, I believe it was February. In fact, here, we'll just pull it up. Look at this. This is really impressive on the daily. And again, these indicators flash anytime these candles close, guys. So this is the Apple chart. This is the beginning of the year. Look at the year that Apple's had. This is the beginning of the year. Okay, this is January. All right, so right here, momentum up. We'll go right at the end of the close, just going up to where it flashed momentum down. Now, this is Apple stock, right? There's a 37% move this year in Apple just from a trading standpoint that you could have made there. And guess what just happened recently on the one day? We got a momentum up.
Well, we had a momentum down, and then we had a momentum up. Yeah. So
we'll
buy it, make 38 points, sell it, wait, new momentum up on the daily, buy it, wait.
Yep. And we'll see what happens. Exactly. And I mean, so Apple's been a really good one to watch for us on there. And man, I think, I don't know about you, but I'm getting some great feedback. I know people are using this, on the hourly chart too, the minute chart. I'm not so much a day trader. I kind of like it from a, from a day-to-day standpoint. I mean, here's Tesla. Here's another example. Big momentum up here. Nice gain. Big momentum up here. And we just flashed another one. So this could be a good opportunity. You guys are getting some free alpha here, but you can use this tool for everything, every crypto, every stock, Forex, commodities, what have you. So
sweet. So the overall market, let me take a look real quickly. Let's see, what is CoinGecko? So do you think that we're going to continue to kind of languish in September? That would be my question for you.
I think so. Yeah. I mean, because given the information you gave us there at the top, basically talking about how September has been historically, And we're seeing even good news pieces come out today that's not really moving the market. I think we're kind of stuck in no man's land for a little bit here, right? And maybe toward the end of the year we start to turn a little bit, but I'm really looking into 2024, and I think our next really bull run top is 2025.
Yeah.
I do.
No, I think so. I agree. I agree. All
We
right,
had
well,
some great news.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
We had another news piece with XRP too come out. I think I sent you this article this morning. This was an interesting one. So Ripple and SBI Holdings have a new strategy for XRP adoption. So we know XRP kind of in the business of remittances, right? So check this out. And this has to do with that Asian market as well. So they formed a joint venture, SBI Group and SBI Remit and Ripple formed SBI Ripple Asia. And what they're trying to do is introduce Ripple's XRP-enabled remittance solution to bank accounts in the Philippines, Vietnam, and Indonesia, with implementation commencing this month. So this thing's happening. This is huge. And Indonesia, huge country, right? I mean, these are the big populations. RBI Remit has been utilizing Ripple's services all the way since 2017. So now they're introducing a crypto solution powered by Ripple, making the first ever international money transfer service in Japan to employ XRP as an intermediary currency between two legal currencies and transfer funds to a crypto wallet in the Philippines. That's big.
No, well, I mean, Ripple continues to do their thing after the SEC lawsuit settlement, et cetera. Chad, how are you, sir? It's good to see you.
Hey, Austin. Hey, Zach. Good to see you guys. How are you doing today?
Good.
What's up, man?
So to give some intro here to Chad real quickly. Chad is one of the co-founders of Devour. This is Devour. Devour is one of the coolest companies on the planet. I think what you guys are doing as far as disrupting the in real life food delivery service and then effectively blending it with Toko. There it is. Crypto. Where the hell did that come from?
Toko.
Man, dementia is setting in. I'll tell you what, Jesus. And then, so there's links in the description below to both, if you're watching on Zach's channel or my channel, to go. This is to go get the app, the Devour Go app, et cetera. So Chad, how are you, sir?
Doing good. You missed something. We're also one of the busiest companies in Web3 as well.
And yeah, I see you're making making announcements. You got Corey. You brought Corey on. I mean, you got a lot. You guys are you're doing a few things, right?
Doing a few things. And you hit one of the big three major kind of updates for everybody. If anyone tracking with us, the additions to the team, both internally and our advisory board, has just been nuts lately. We're scaling up that team in a big way. It's one of the big headlines lately.
So Corey, you are, just to FYI, you're one of the co-founders, you and Shelly, and then Corey is taking over moved in the role of COO, and what are you transitioning to? What, head of partnerships? Is that right?
CRO, Chief Relationship Officers, which includes partnerships. So for which mirrors where I've been in my career in the restaurant tech industry before. So it's more laser focused on what I'm good at. And so Corey being the process master, really out of the box thinker, just like keeping a company organized. She's that person and so good at it. And so she's been a very welcome addition to the team. She's going to very quickly be very, very busy too.
What is it you say, Zach? What does it say? You got to own your own. Well, we say own your own shit. So what we mean by that is, Chad, is do what you do well, right? That's what
exactly.
Yep. No, 100%. And you guys also brought in Kai. I've got it up here on screen too, Austin, if you want to switch over. So yeah, I mean, so talk about this add to the team.
Yeah, Kai's been working with us a little while. We just recently made it official with the announcement as well. But this is your quintessential salesperson. Like, this guy brings the energy, passion, excitement, and really unique to him as well, really in-depth product knowledge. Almost every call we go on, he's like, I want to know this platform intimately. I want to know everything, because knowing the product well and how we can help restaurants and communities with it is going to be the key to success. So he's a whole package kind of guy. And even right now, as we're speaking, out there crushing it, talking to restaurant operators about Devour. He's an amazing dude. You'll get to probably meet him at some point.
That's awesome. I mean, you guys have been crushing it with partnerships all year long. I mean, so for everybody out there listening, what are kind of the latest updates in that regard? I know you guys are constantly looking for new relationships, getting into new, obviously restaurants, new areas across the country, things like that. So,
yeah, they headline there, and just real quick before we move on from the advisors, just for anybody who hasn't been keeping tabs, right? We've added beyond Kai and Corey, kind of the full-time team lately. We've brought on Barry Herbst. He's a phenomenal guy in two major niches that we touch: the Web3 world. He's been a Web3 advisor to multiple companies, investor in the space, speaker in the space, as well as a restaurant advisor. He and his family are part of the Elliott Group, which is an executive search firm specializing in hospitality and retail. So he's phenomenal and has been immediately impactful. We brought on Tim Chappell. This guy, kind of former engineer but turned product manager, product advisor. He is the perfect person for that role. He's lived and breathed technology for so long, and he's a gaming and enthusiast, Web3 enthusiast. He's just been able to wrap his mind around everything we're doing, and already coming to the table with ideas like how to take it to the next level with the knowledge on how to get us there faster than anyone we could have ever possibly hoped for. So he's a rock star. And the list goes on. Rob Hammond, this is easily one of the smartest people I've ever met. He's our kind of that go-to-market specialist, product specialist, and he actually researches consumer behavior in his university role. So this guy is going to continue to be invaluable to us in multiple ways. And let's not forget that we also brought on Laura Mazonis from the Call of Duty team recently to help us get all the inroads there in the gaming world and marketing to the gaming population that we're focusing on now as well. So, and the funny thing is, we're not done. We got more announcements to make regarding hires and advisors we're bringing on in the short term as well. So, lots going on there. Now, to your question, Zach, with the partnerships, the big news on that one, this is actually one of the main updates for everybody, is we have a partnership in the integration category. So one of our keys to success up to this point has been making it very easy for restaurants to come on board the platform, be listed in Devour, be available to the Web3 world and beyond. And, as we seek, now 212 million US gamers in the platform, making it really easy for restaurants, making them not have to educate and onboard to Web3 like many platforms and products require of their users. Just plug and play, right, for their existing technology. And through our previous partnerships, there were around just over 40,000 restaurants we could do that with those integrations in particular. We completed a new partnership that allows us to do AI integrations, AI onboarding of restaurants to the tune of several 100,000 restaurants across the country that are now in play with Devour because of this new tech partnership. It's ridiculous. And we were at this event, a massive restaurant industry event last week in Jacksonville, Florida. Got out of there right before the hurricane hit, and with the C-suite of all the major restaurant brands. And we were able to showcase in real time for them, here, let's click this button and watch your brand pull into Devour. We'll pull in your menu. Now people can start ordering from you just like that. Able to do that with some of the biggest brands in the country and therefore the world. It was awesome. So now we are in this mode of just capitalizing on this new integration to bring on brands, massively cover the US with options for our users on Devour Go to be able to order right wherever you happen to live, because we just made it that much easier to get on board.
Chad, is this the our last live stream? We talked about a partner that had the technology to be able to go out and just like effectively scrape, right, a website and bring them into the network. Is this in addition to that? This is different?
This is that. Okay. Fully realized, right? So it's okay. They're scraping. There's also a lot of AI and how they do what they do to be able to do that well and to have it then ultimately be able to let it get into our platform in a seamless, consistent way. But yes, it is that, Austin. But we're just continuing to realize, especially on the back of the meeting with the operators and having conversations with that go something like this. In the whole conference, one of the themes was disruption, innovation, transformation. So we go, all right, so you need to be paying attention to the next generation. You need to be paying attention to new technology. You generally don't have a good handle on how to do it. Here we come along with Devour Go, and we can effortlessly plug you into being able to reach the 212 million gamers, Gen Z population through gaming, esports, community, and even university channels by plugging in here, and we can do that for you without you doing anything. Just give us permission, right? And it's that conversation over and over again to see and seeing how well that goes and be able to pull it off at scale that's the transformation point right now.
And so going back to your point, you were in C-level. So what he means by C-level, for those guys who don't know what that means, is like, like CEOs, COOs, the decision makers with some of these restaurant major chains. Were they just blown away by this?
Absolutely, right. And some of the brands we met with, Chick-fil-A, sat at a table with a gal from Chick-fil-A, Domino's, Inspire Brands, which is Arby's, Wendy's, Buffalo Wild Wings, Red Lobster, Red Robin, Big Chicken, Muya Burgers, PF Chang's, et cetera, et cetera. And so it was the conference at the right time for us.
That's amazing. And so everybody, you see what's on screen here. It's totally free to go download the Devour Go app. So available on the App Store, and you can get it on Google Play. So definitely go get it, check it out, play around with it, because Austin and I both think that this is the start of something really, really special. And, Chad, I know you guys are working on a ton that you can't even share. I mean, do you expect some more big news later this year to be made public?
Oh, Zach, there'll be so many updates before the end of the year. Everyone needs to be paying attention weekly with where we're at right now. And so to that point, and with the app, I want to, major thing. We are coming out with a promotion, or really more of a month-long campaign starting Friday. I'll give you what the idea is. We've had certain community members with us for a long time, and they've been enjoying every update, every progression of the company, the platform, and now the app that you're seeing there. It is a very simple way of saying it, highly gamified food ordering experience, right? So that, yes, you can order from restaurants local to you, but within there, right, you may be even accessing that from a game, right? We've talked a little bit about that in the past, but within the app, there's games, right? There's a whole leveling system gamified where you're earning all kinds of rewards as you level up your account, you level up your player by ordering food, by playing games within the game, food related games, a racing game. So there's ways of sharing content and earning points. So we have this whole leveling system, and our community's really been digging it, especially since we added the leaderboard. And so I want everybody to take a look at that, because it's been such a fun thing for the people that have been with us the longest, and we want new people to come in and check that out. And so the theme of this month is making it even easier to accelerate your progress within that game, within Go VIP, within the leveling and ranking and reward system. So people, get to taste some of those rewards sooner than they might otherwise have. So there'll be multiple ways of accelerating progress within that platform. And so, step one, get the app now. If you don't already have it, get in there and start playing around with the progress, because the incentives for doing that are about to kick in a higher degree.
Absolutely love it. I mean, so what else? What else can you update us on in terms of just the community? I know, we were talking about the bear market a little bit. Obviously, you guys are head down building. That's what the great companies do during these times.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you kind of foster the community during these times? Is it difficult? I mean, how have you seen them respond? Because it's been tough. I mean, this last 15-month stretch.
Yeah, I would say we've been blessed by an amazing community that you said it sees what we're building, sees the long-term vision. They see it, and we're very transparent about sharing, right, where our vision is, so that helps. But we're not above the market, right? That's not we're susceptible to it as well, but we're also realizing that despite the market conditions, if we execute this plan, this company, this product, this vision, we will be accelerating faster than to make the market look like proportionally not that big of a deal compared to just the results of building something real. And so our
Yeah.
community sees that, and the energy is high, and as it should be, because we're doing stuff, we're doing real things. And this you brought to mind something I heard on a Twitter space. I love your guys' opinion. There was a really kind of a debate with two people, and then ultimately other people jumped in. Both have been in Web3 a long time, and they said, well, is the goal, one person was arguing with the goal should be, she was discounting things like Reddit, right, that brought people into Web3, but not in the same way that others might define it, right? They were using the blockchain on a platform that was insulated and had that use case in that platform for the most part. But that didn't get people to become necessarily Web3 enthusiasts, crypto enthusiasts. And she was arguing, no, that's the goal. That's how the space will win, if we create experiences that bring people in and make them enthusiasts. And the other position was, no, if companies just build with the technology, right? If they use the technology and give people who aren't interested in educating or aren't going to educate and become Web3 enthusiasts, but they're using blockchain, then we're winning there. And it was interesting, right? Because both sides had relevant points to make, but ultimately I was on the side of, no, we all win if the technology is being used, whether directly or indirectly. That is going to be what makes the space win. The enthusiasts and the people who couldn't care less about the technology, they just care about what it enables them to do in life, the problems it solves. And so, especially the kind of company we are, it's like our platform, our tech and approach matches that philosophy, which is, yes, we love people to become enthusiasts, but we just want the technology to be used and valued for what it can do that other technologies cannot. And then that'll grow the ecosystem. The ecosystem will be beneficial for all, enthusiasts and non-enthusiasts. I'm curious where you guys fall on that, and
I mean,
any nuance you would add.
I mean, Chad, kind of when that last sentence you just said to me was what reminded me of, yes, I was around when Apple brought out the iPhone 3, I think is what it was when they launched. They didn't launch it one. They were out of whatever the version. My point to you is that they built a platform that was easy to use, that people would get excited about using, and then they knew that the rest would grow from there. So I think that's kind of, I'm not answering the part about the two people that were talking about it, but kind of that final part of that equation was, for me, it's like, if you focus on the tech, if you focus on the app, and you focus on the user experience, and you build a user experience that are relevant of the crypto angle, like crypto don't, but it's just a positive user environment. And oh, by the way, you're building in these gamified portions of it, whereby you're increasing that likelihood of using it on multiple facets. Yes, I'm using it to buy food, but I'm also using it when I'm playing in that metaverse or that game or whatever it is. I think it's a win-win. I think that's my stance. It's like, build it and they shall come, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I agree. I agree
hey,
there.
Zach, I got to deal with a family thing real quick. I'll be right back in 1 minute. So I'm just going to be right back.
No problem. No, I agree with both of the points there. I mean, and I also think too, like, I hear a lot of the developers always say we need to seamlessly create something where the novice doesn't even know they're using blockchain and or crypto, but they're just using something that they like, and then there's a crypto element to it. And I think the gaming side of things is going to be ripe for that kind of development, where it's like the gamers are already there. Gaming's not getting any smaller. It's only getting more invasive, bigger. It's going more digital. It aligns perfectly with where blockchain and crypto is going. And I think I've even heard a couple of my friends who are huge gamers basically say that, yeah, I actually own some Ethereum. I don't even know why, but I actually own some Ethereum. That is the kind of stuff that I love to hear. It's like, I actually have an NFT, and it forced me to learn about why I have this NFT and what it means. Those are the sort of things I think that if you can seamlessly do that in a game, let's say, for example, that people are playing because they love the game, and then there happens to be this crypto element that they're kind of, somewhat forced to learn about. I think that's unbelievable for the future of where we're going, rather than starting at square one and saying, hey, get interested in this thing because it's the next thing, right? That's difficult. So that's an interesting conversation for sure.
Yeah, it's something we've seen too, right? The attaching to something that's native, already inherently interesting, predates Web3, like gaming. You can whatever it is, if you say, hey, there's this new thing, but that relates to something you're really, really curious about and excited about, and it'll benefit you, right?
Yep.
In a way that you care about to learn about it, people will lean in and learn, right? So the kind of Web3 adoption equation is always two sides. What's the incentive? Why do I even care to even lean in and try to learn? And then if I do, what's the reward for doing it? So the gaming part is really exciting because it's both of those, right? Especially with Devour Go, hey, you can order food from the game that can elevate your gaming experience. There's the game within the app to further your rewards in a way that ties into the game because you did. And by the way, yeah, you can get more out of it if you're leaning into how does this all work? What is it making me kind of curious about that where I might elevate my experience even more by taking on some of that Web3 knowledge.
And that's why I love what you guys have built here too, because you're taking something that exists that already works, right? But you're gearing it toward Web3. It's like people love ordering food through the existing apps. We won't even call them your competitors because they're not even really looking at where you guys are going. Right. You guys have got kind of the runway already. But people love that convenience, right? And they're already using those sort of applications. And now you're building something similar with way more incentives. I remember when we first started talking, Chad, it's like we kind of got into the whole loyalty reward programs and how archaic those were, the punch card system. And it's like, but people still love that idea of like getting something because they keep going to this place, whether it's like a free coffee after 5 or whatever. But now this can be amplified, and obviously they can own these digital assets, maybe in the form of an NFT or something like that. I love it. I think, I know we've talked about what Starbucks has kind of already done and as well. So just speak to that a little bit and kind of where Devour is going with all of that sort of thing.
I'll rewind to something you said. It's like, we're doing something that's important, food ordering, but bring it to Web3. But it's changed that a little bit. I'm going to say, we're focusing on a food ordering experience targeted to a very like Web3, that segment of the population is relatively small that's like into it, right? So, but our target, 212 million US gamers, Gen Z, right? This is like the largest population, 1 in 5 Americans. They have $360 billion in purchasing power, spend most of it on food. We're, as a business, focusing on them. Because Web3 and interest in that and bringing that together with the restaurant industry was one of the motivations for starting the company. Our platform uses Web3 to deliver that experience for that population, whether they're into Web3 or not. Mm-hmm. This is the key. The technology makes it better. Now people can get digital assets. I'm even deliberately not using the word NFT there or crypto because they get digital assets that do things. Tokens, let them buy food. NFTs, digital assets that unlock exclusive promotions at restaurant partners that they want to go to. NFTs in that experience that potentially add to their gaming experience, even if they don't call them that. It's the value, the benefit is there. It happens to be able to be delivered and uniquely delivered by Web3.
That makes a lot of sense.
To elevate it to that higher level, which is why our competitors won't be able to come in and take our spot. Absolutely. Because they have no foundation at all to be able to bring in actual differences in their technology to meet this unique segment we're going after.
Yeah. Well, I think I love that you did not use the word. I love that you called it out. It wasn't an NFT. It was a digital asset. I think people, meaning businesses, are still like, we know we need to be in something with this NFT thing, and sure. But it's not. But I think that's a really good explanation, Chad, of what it really is. It's a digital asset that you can leverage and use, to your point, in different environments, different ways. And I think the NFT word, I think that nomenclature confuses the hell out of people. Yeah. It does. What? I'm going to get a picture I can go spend? No, it's not. It's a digital asset to be leveraged and used, So there you go. So,
I think on another note, Chad, you've kind of, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're kind of alluding to it a little bit, maybe even with some of the people you've hired. I heard you say Gen Z. It seems like it would make a lot of sense to really target this toward college kids. Is that something you're kind of looking at? Think about the college kids gaming in their dorm room, and now it's 2:00 in the morning and they want to deliver some food. They want to get some food delivered. Seems like that'd be a great fit.
Yeah. If I alluded to that, I apologize for only alluding. That is absolutely it, Zach.
Yeah.
That's the target, right? So the places where we go out and you'll attract users are this generational thing, right? And it spans generations to some degree, but like in game, in community, which means how are people learning about it and potentially getting into Devour Go? Maybe they saw it on a Twitter post from someone in their community or a Discord channel or something. Universities, we will be on campus sharing this experience with universities, potentially introducing a unique digital asset to that campus that unlocks benefits at local restaurants, right? And of course, the gaming side is overlaps too. And esports is booming. There's plans for multiple esports dedicated stadiums coming up across the country. And some of our key partnerships are going to bring us firmly into that realm as well. So
I can imagine
a lot of these intersect, but the college student is prime target demographic.
Can you imagine like at a Jumbotron at like the University of Texas, like download the Devour Go app now to earn 10% at this restaurant after the game if if Texas scores a touchdown on the next drive? I mean, there's so many possibilities, right? I mean,
so many.
That's
many.
awesome, man. That's awesome.
So many.
I love it.
So many.
I love it.
All right. Well, Chad, so, I always like to throw you a curveball in the context of like the general, like I'm supposed to be about to Devour. I always love to get, because you guys sit at such an interesting crossroads. You're doing you're doing what you guys do. You're crushing it, but you're also a crypto company. You're also in the crypto space. And so what is kind of your 2 cents about what you see kind of moving into the fourth quarter and moving into the first quarter? I mean, we got the Bitcoin halving out there. We've got, I don't know if you saw earlier, we were talking about September on record. I don't know if you know this stat. Tell Shelly this one, and she'll love it, is that since 2013, last 10 years, 8 of those 10 years have been in the red for Bitcoin, but you can also equate that to pretty much crypto in general. So September, horrible, right? So what do you see coming up in kind of your opinion of crypto fourth quarter of 23 and then moving kind of into the first part of the year? And if you want to tie that back to kind of anything you guys are doing or seeing, you're more than welcome. So go for it. What's your 2 cents?
So one, we're optimistic by nature, right? And 2, we will ultimately pay less attention to the general market of crypto based on the fact that we are going to create, based on what we're building, so much value in our token, and I'm kind of going to the digital assets here, such that it's not market independent, but it's more so than most companies or projects in the space, because we're not relying on the market to raise us up. Right. That's a key point.
Yeah.
The other part is just thinking, right? Like, we've been building a long time, and we know others, both builders in the space, but also brands that are working with companies to build an experience for their fan base. Some of these things, and maybe most of them, are still under the radar. So what I think starts to happen even before the end of the year is big brands, big companies used the blockchain well, kind of went back to the drawing board in some cases and think, wait, what do we need to do to truly have an amazing user experience and deliver that? And I think once that starts to happen, that elevates the market, because now people will see that this wasn't all hype. It wasn't all craps like so many people think that. There will be proof that it wasn't for more people. There's already proof if you're paying attention, obviously, but more people will see the proof through the major brand initiatives that there's real value and real technology here that's going to change how the world operates. Yeah, so we're not too worried about it, to be very frank.
I like it that you brought it. I mean, it makes sense that you intuitively brought it back to, build the boat, build the ship, build it, and they will come. And again, you did it. Thank you for pointing out that you don't need the price of the token to move up or all of those things, right? You're building your tech to create that user experience, and that's it at the end of the day,
And you guys do this as well, but I mean, for anybody who is overly fearful about what the future might look like or the next quarter, I would say, are you sufficiently educated, right? Ask yourself, are you sufficiently educated on why the blockchain matters and the true benefits it affords the world? Because if you're not confident in that, you're going to be more fearful because you don't understand the fundamentals of what's behind all of this in the first place. Be able to confidently say, oh, these are the things that the blockchain does do, might do, right? Might do after the ecosystem grows, and like have the things, right? So that you know in your own head, right, why this all matters and cannot just be a fad, right? So, yeah.
Amen. Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
I think we do a lot of that, Zach. We educate, right? Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, we try to. I mean, and it's hard too because you need to meet people where they are a lot of times, but then you have more people that are more advanced. I mean, far more advanced than us, even as YouTubers or influencers, whatever you want to call us. But I think I want to bring this back real quick to Shib too, because I know a lot of people here from Shiba Inu. I saw some questions in the chat. I know, Chad, you had a chance to kind of talk with some of the people at Wellies. I know that it's early days still with that, but maybe speak to that a little bit. And you guys are obviously open to all partnerships, but I think you guys would love to kind of work with Shib in some capacity. Obviously, Wellies could be a great fit.
Yeah, so going back to ETH Toronto Futurist Blockchain Conference, got the chance to meet, first of all, said multiple members of the Shib team.
Yeah.
Right, so let's start there. For anybody who's not already, give this team time to build, right? These are very talented people with true intent, with all kinds of resources, community and otherwise, to be able to build something that will, and they're already doing it, but like give this team time, because like I would bet on them, right? Like this, compared to so many out there, these guys have every chance of being incredibly successful, and then Shib Army going right along with it and being successful. So that very, very encouraging conversations and realizations there with what I was seeing at the event related just to the Shib team. And then finally, Wellies, like what surprised me there, and I may have mentioned this to you before, Zach, is the depth of restaurant operator experience, right? This wasn't a Web3 person saying, hey, I think I'll start a restaurant. This was restaurant people who were also, Shib Army that said, hey, we can take our incredible talents, connections, etc., in the restaurant industry to build a brand in a way that truly embodies Web3 and the Shib community. And I was impressed by just the quality of the team and the size of the team and the forward thinkingness of their plans. And where we tied in was like, as much as they already had going for them, what they didn't have was a solid technology play to make the Web3 side relevant in the technology side, in the restaurant, in the way the guest engages, right? How can being, like, if I'm interested in Wellies, what's different, right, about the user experience because of the tech impacting that, which, Web3 is all about. So that's where we can strongly partner with the Wellies community, Looking forward to doing that.
Chad, I want you to thank you, but I also want you to re-say something you said that was, by the way, completely unscripted. I didn't know you were going to say that, but it was talking about the fact that you met the team and the Shib team, and to an extent the Wellies team. That's something that I think a lot of people lose sight of, is that there's a team here. You met them at the conference, and outsider looking in, you were impressed with the depth, breadth, and what they're trying to accomplish. So that's interesting. I'd like you to dig into that, just maybe 1 or 2 minutes more on that.
Okay, yeah. I think the important context is being in this role at Devour, since we started the company December 2021, myself and Shelly, we've met a lot of teams, right? And so we have like this spectrum of people we've seen running a business, right? Like people who have, on one end, people have no business doing it, have no idea what they're doing, may not even have the intent. And then others like, okay, professional backgrounds. Like, Zach, someone we know, Marcy, right? On professional background, like accomplished. Yeah. True intent, like to do good work in whatever they're doing. Now working on the Shib team. And then locked in, right? Locked in with the vision, right? And knowing how they're day-to-day efforts impact that vision. An organization, right, versus different people running in different directions, aligned efforts. So her, Bill, Brandy, etc., that I met on the team, like they're professionals. They came to the event even with an objective and worked relentlessly at it. Versus doing whatever was fun. I don't, like, that's the best way I think I say it, is professionals locked in, right, on a vision and an objective, coordinating their efforts well, right, to accomplish it. And then you think about, like, do they have the time, energy, resources to accomplish that? Yes, of course they do. So that's what I mean.
Yeah, and you
That's very
mentioned
cool.
you mentioned Bill, William Volk. I mean, and he's unbelievable. I mean, his resume
Right.
and what he brings to the table. And Shiba Eternity was successful out there, but I've been saying this a lot and talking to William a little bit there. That's not the end game. Like, what they've built is a start, but they have, I think, much bigger plans to get into gaming further, which obviously I think is a brilliant idea. Just all things considered, I mean, just the things we've highlighted, how many people are in gaming, 212 million US gamers just alone. So yeah, a lot of great people over there, and I think it'd be a great fit. I really do, and I hope it plays out that way. And I think the Wellies fit would be perfect, right? Because they're doing a lot of IRL kind of side of things where they can hook that tech side into there. So I mean, there's a lot of potential there, a lot of potential.
No doubt. And yeah, that's why we fully intend to be the food ordering infrastructure of the SHIB community and the upcoming metaverse, right?
Yeah,
we're just
and
perfectly
Chad,
suited for it.
the reason I wanted you to dig into it, and Zach, thank you for the William Volk commentary as well, is that I think that the majority of people who watch our content and who are in SHIB are focused on the price of the token, period. And they don't think about the business behind it and what SHIB is building. And that's truly why I wanted to take a moment. And so thanks, Chad, for your input on that, because you'd bring a unique perspective. You're not living in the Shiba Inu community or ecosystem every single day. We are, right? And you went to the conference, you met them, and you're a business guy at the end of the day. You've built this, you've built this business and all this kind of stuff. So thanks.
Right. And yeah, thank you. And so we live it as well, right? So like we are focused. If you first and foremost, you want to know that the future is solid, right? So that it is the team. It starts there. The team, what's being built, does it make sense, etc. If that's good, then the day-to-day price fluctuations of a token, that's just going to happen. That's the market. But where is this going, right? That you have to think in those terms. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself crazy over nothing. You'll make foolish decisions either one way or the other, overly optimistic or pessimistic. Too many people foolishly put their faith in ridiculously bad teams and projects, and then some people don't put enough faith in good teams and companies, right? So it's like, pay attention to the variables that matter most.
Yeah,
that's where it starts.
Yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely.
100%.
Well, we're coming up on an hour. Y'all want to wrap it up? Kind of. I know, Chad, you got some other things. I have a minor crisis going on. My son needs. Chad, you know this. You have kids. I mean, I have literally. My son's like, I need 3 pieces of paper to study for a test. I've took pictures of them and now I have to take them. I'm just, me, I don't sugarcoat it. I'm telling you what's going on. I'm like, seriously, I'm working here, people. So Chad, final thoughts on you guys have got some amazing partnerships. I mean, y'all are by far one of the busiest companies out there. And it feels like you're reaching even, because I remember when we first started talking with you and Shelly and things were great and you're reaching velocity. That's my word, right? The velocity seems to really be accelerating. So give us some insight around that.
I think there's multiple reasons. It's first and foremost, it's where the products evolve to. So that's like my ask to everybody listening: get your hands on it. Go to get in Devour, go and see it, experience it. And again, time couldn't be better with the promotion we're kicking off Friday to see gamified food ordering, but also gamified ecosystem around it. momentum's a result of just we've been building a long time, right? So like Shelley is fond of the expression, the water, the pressure's been building up against the dam, and now it's starting to blow out because like the awareness has grown, our connections, we've made a lot of connections who've made us connections to other connections. So we're talking to more of the right people that have made progress accelerate. You're seeing it in the advisors joining the team, the team growing with Corey and Kai and more to come. And it's just a result of building intentionally over time. And it's just that inflection point now where it's starting to get crazy. And then to be able to deliver with that partnership I talked about, we're now almost all restaurants that do any kind of online ordering can plug into the platform easily. It's this point in time where it's starting to show more.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it's amazing. I'm glad I'm a DPay holder. I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say that. I'm sitting on and you know what it got me was last time, it was like 2 live streams ago. Zach knows what I'm talking about, where you were talking about adoption rate and you were talking about, as you guys adopt and how more and more people will hold DPay to get those rewards, those benefits and use and leverage. And I'm like, yeah, I think I might need to buy more and hold more. So there you go. So that's my 2 cents. So
thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Chad. Zach, you got anything you want to add?
No, this was great. And I know we'll have a ton more updates coming up in the weeks and months that follow. And right now, I think it's just download the app, get into the app, play around with it. And I know, Chad, I know you guys love feedback too. Hop in the Telegram, let them know what you guys think about it. And yeah.
Here, let me type that in the comments that on Telegram, we are Go Devour.
Yep.
So there we go.
So Chad, when you've got something else big, like if you got something coming up in the next week or 2, yell at me or Zach, and we want you to come back on, man. You guys, either you and or Shelly. Shelly, we need to have Shelly on. She's fun. I always like to, kick the, I was going to say something. I don't even know. I was like, Shelly always makes me laugh. She always has something to talk about. So when you guys have something, let's have you guys back on. Okay.
Awesome. Anytime, guys. Thank you for the time today. And again, Telegram Friday, pay attention to us on Twitter and Telegram because we'll be dropping secret codes that have impact in this campaign. So
love it.
All right, man.
Thanks, guys.
Okay.
Take care.
And we're going to see you.
Bye.